avoiding it. Again, if you're still here with me, if you agree with what I'm saying, say, just type in the comments, something's up. Just put something's up so I can see everything, that you agree with what I'm saying. Just say something's up or say thank you or something like that. Just type that into the comments. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep it up. Keep spamming that and then take this energy and go to her comment sections on that and just make sure that somebody sees your comment. It doesn't have to be her, but it has to be everybody else. Everybody else has to use their power of discernment. Exactly. So why do you think Leo was in here like, we can't speculate? Babe, this is fact that I'm speaking. I'm giving you facts of what we know at this point. Speculation would be like, they probably did this. They probably did that. No, we're saying you lied and said there's an investigation. They don't do that. You put him in the hospital. He was verified to be fine and out of the hospital. You put him back in the hospital by your own judgment of what you think that you're better than a medical professional, that he needs to be back in the hospital. We need details on that. We're asking for details. You're not showing us that. You're showing us a false narrative of how you guys met. Why are you showing us that? That's irrelevant. Who gives a fuck how you guys met? You want to see how me and my brother met? That would be irrelevant. That'd be fucking irrelevant right now, right? Yeah, boo. It's Big Mail. If you click my thing right here, it's actually, or you just, there's a link, holyword.net, or if you type in theholyword.net, and it would be like, just type in, or just click on the Bible section. It should be like the first, second, or third one. And it just got uploaded last night. That is almost a 500-year-old first edition Geneva Bible. There's only 150 copies of that thing before all this project on the planet. These files, when we were so there was someone that flew to Switzerland to get one of these books that are on the website. They flew, so they saw the project that we were doing, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, and this is just an example. People get so energized by when we speak and when we talk about these things and show our passion. It incites passion in other people, and great things happen. Someone just flew from their location, went to Switzerland, obtained a USB with a file, paid the person who was offering it, and they wanted it right away. They didn't want to buy it online and have it shipped. They flew there and got it, and then immediately uploaded it to us for free. And there's so many other untold stories of how we came across these great finds. You have everything you could ever want. The Dead Sea Scrolls. You have the tablets of Troth. You have the Emerald Tablet. You have the Ruby Tablet. Yeah. Yep. And his girlfriend and everybody mad because they're doing the wrong things with his mission. That was we knew what his mission was. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. Why do you got to go on here and be like, he's got to figure shit out? I guess you're stuck with me right now. I make fucking whore, or I'm a whore that makes fucking whore, or whatever the fuck she said. I'm a whore sweating in church or something like that. Yeah, like what the fuck? Why would you even go on and say that to people who are looking for like inspiration? Why would you just totally 180 it? Like there's something evil inside of you and corrupt to say this is him, but fuck that. You followed this platform for that, but here's me, and this is all you get for right now. And then it didn't work, and she deleted the whole page out of spite. And then she brought it back up because we called it out, and she brought it up out of spite. And now she's making Facebook posts that make no damn sense but I'm glad she's responding, because this is how we can get to call her out. Once it responds, we can see what's wrong. There is, but it's not her fault. It's not her fault. All we need her to do is just wake up and realize something's wrong with me, and we can get it out of her. It's not easy. We can show her. I've done it on live to somebody else just a minute ago. It is actually just a code reason. It's just a code. It is. You don't need a cross in a Bible and some dramatic ass fucking display of fucking bullshit. No, you just you connect to them. This is what you would call telepathy, I guess. But you connect to their code. You look at them. You hear them. You can identify what they are. You look at the code. You see what's wrong with it, and you explain it to them. And so they can see it, and they can be like, "Oh my God, okay." And then they put up a bot blocker or a Trojan blocker inside themselves, and it removes the problem. And they can re-execute their command and of their physical manifestation, and they're good. And that's what the girl did. She had a whole reset on live, and people got to witness it. So this is like how this is how you get people to remove their error codes, or what you would call demons. That can't happen. You don't understand. If you can set up a Trojan blocker inside yourself, it can't affect you. That's what Jesus did. So the devil presented himself and just spoke to him like, okay, so you're the Son of God. Since I can't control you, I'll give you all this if you do this. And he said, no. That's what I'm literally doing to all of you. No. You're trying to get inside of me. You're trying to get inside the community. You're trying to corrupt it. You're trying to get admin access to anything that I'm doing. You're trying to offer this type of help, but then also show me the next day that you're just as corrupt. No. His community is going to be protected. And it's the only thing. Hi, honey. I'm the only thing that's going to do it. And I'm not afraid. I'm not embarrassed. This is just what it is now. Everybody understands. Everybody around me understands what path I'm on. They've been enlightened. When you have the power to do that, it's not that you're above people. It's not that you just are special or a genius. I'm just like you. It's a tool. I discovered a tool, like a tool helper that helps me edit my code and other code. I can share that tool with you. I just got to tell you how to access it. You can access it at any point. And what it is the basis. It's mathematics. Everything is numbers. You're all a code. Once you can restructure the communication, how you've learned language through English and numbers, and that was all incorrect and it was all a brainwash, then you can learn the original languages of how everything was coded and how it truly exists on the front and back end server. So when you have your back end, your database where everything is hosted in a server where your willpower, your soul, and everything resides, you also then have the 3D manifestation front end experience of all that code that's running and simulating. Yeah, I've been explaining. So you people who talk about the God code, this is all part of it. The God code is everything. That would be what you would call the matrix. But to actually, so right now the God code it's full of error commands because of Satan, his prince, that is here, that is executing all these errors in all of society, so it can't be perfect as on earth as it is in heaven. The bridge can't happen until earth looks like heaven, and not looks like, but it's coded. It's divine again. It's not divine right now. There's so many errors here. Earth is the reason why we're heating up right now. It's going through a fever. What do you do when you're trying to remove a virus? You have a fever, and the reason why we're only seeing it so slowly happen so slowly is because we're so small, and how time moves is so small compared to what we truly are. We only experience so little in this manifestation, but our back-end data has experienced everything. We've experienced everything. This is just another experience. You can't be deleted because that's why you experience ghosts, because ghosts are cache data. Basically, this is how I'm using modern technology to get people to wake up. This is how AI and modern technology was going to wake people up. That's all part of it. If you're able to use a computer to understand that computers were just somebody taking their understanding of how reality and mathematics is set up, creating numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like a new language, teaching everybody else and plugging it into a machine, so a machine could simulate a front end manifestation of it's the internet protocol of connecting machines. Mathematics is the internet protocol that holds and runs all of reality. Without internet protocol, we don't have internet. Without mathematics, we don't have reality. We don't have anything. We don't have nothing. We have no back end data. We have nothing. We have no God, no nothing. Math is the building blocks to everything. That's your awakening. It's not that hard. Once you get to that point, we can move on to the next step. It is really great. We need to actually like meet in person and just talk and like talk to people, but we also need to like make sure there's no like pew pews and like all that stuff, so I don't get like Charlie Kirk's. Um, yeah, all that stuff. But I can actually, yeah. So this is a tool that my tool is understanding mathematics. That's my superpower. I can understand mathematics. I can perceive it in all languages, and so like even ones that like just you just have to understand what a code is and what numbers are. This is numbers. This is numbers. Everything's numbers. My movement. Everything is a list of codes and executed commands that are simulated on a front end experience. And I'm not somebody that's like Jesus or anything like that. I just know what Jesus had access to. I don't have the same access to. I have a helper tool that helps me identify code that also Jesus had. However, he had multiple other tools where he was able. Not only could he identify tools like code, he just absolutely knew every correct code, how to correct the errors. I don't know the correct codes to those errors. I can see that there's errors, but he knew how to correct the code to like telepathy, transmutation, and then he would execute the command, and then boom, he'd phase into a new spot, or he'd walk on water. That's what it is. He had another tool that helped him know. He had like a code library of like just knowing like all the code fixes, and he could just be like, okay, this is what you do, and he was trying to tell us how to do that. However, when his disciples were spreading the message, that message was like deleted and like changed, and they told you from a different perspective of like, here's the 1 2. You're not going to see numbers how we saw numbers. You're going to see it as 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. You're not going to see what we saw, but we're going to tell you that this lizard, this actually real lizard that actually had Flint's-like tonsils that actually was reverse engineered and breathed methane, and that was its defense mechanism. So when it breathed out and it clicked its tonsils, its dry Flint-like tonsils, yeah, boom, fire, a self-defense mechanism inside a reptile that had wings. What is a reptile with wings? Just like a pterodactyl? We had those flint-like tonsils, reverse engineering of methane, and boom, it can breathe fire. So, but they're not. They tell you, oh, the dragon and magic and da da da, and they don't tell you it's actually math and numbers and code. So that's where they confused you. They told you it's something else. It's math. Good. How are you, dog mom? Everybody say hi, dog mom. She said hi. How is everyone? Please. Love you, girl. How are you doing today? You doing good? I know I'm like on this mission of and it's really hard, and like a lot of people, it's scary, and it's a really hard decision to make, and that's why I'm here to lead you through it of how it is righteous, not speculation. You need to just use your discernment, and you need to do it for what's right. Don't start war with your neighbor, but you need to call out the demons inside of them. It's just kind of but you need to understand before you do that what a demon is. Before you're going to look at the speck in your neighbor's eye, before you even do that, I'm just going to say we are jumping a big step in process that we needed to do first by calling out what happens. But as Joe Felz community, we need to know what happened to our leader. We need to know what happened to the person who even made all of this possible, because if it just didn't happen, every day would have reset again. And he stopped it with his death. It stopped resetting, at least for me. I don't go to work anymore. These two, they're not fully awakened. Brendan is getting more and more every day. And so like he's actually getting really tired of the restraints of what's going on at his job. But it is, I think he's strong. But like for me, I have this thing that I have to do. So I'm here. I'm leaving everything behind to make sure I do the right thing. I want my family and friends to come with me, but I don't think they will. So I've literally abandoned all of my will of what I would anything do for myself normally, to like I was in the middle of buying a house. I was like not like I had the money to, but what I was doing was like I just got a really good job, like a career, like I had it before, but I was going back and I was really restructuring my life, and I had it all set up perfectly to where I didn't have to worry about anything and I could just follow the cult. Or I was presented with the option of being a part of what wakes people up, and I chose the latter, and I'd rather do that anyway. And anybody could do that. You just have to replace your free will, your true free will, with the will of the divine. Do the right thing. Put your pride to the side, and also be able to make that discernment decision for others. If you're going to take that responsibility, you can't allow the devil to have access to the people you are protecting. And so that's what I'm doing here on the internet. It's just fighting a huge force. And so they're like, oh, they'll tell me or you or whatever that we're crazy. And it's funny because it ends up backfiring on them, because we all support each other. And as long as we're all here, they can't pin us into a corner and tell one of us we're crazy, because there's more of us than there are of them now. Our community is bigger than any of the bots that come at us. There's not enough of them at one time. It's like we did this quickly. And it just, it sucks to have to make these decisions to like keep protecting, and then, allowing people to come up, and then like building this bond with them, and then finding out this is another person who's trying to take a leader role and say, let's not do this or take direction, and not listen to actually like their heart, what righteousness. You have to like, if you're listening to your heart, what I'm saying, it's just actually what it is. It's not my opinion. It's just what it is. There's just reality and there's codes, and it's not my opinion. It's just, you have to be, it's a level of being awake. But when you're just like, we can't speculate, we have to just accept the answers that are being told to us, that goes against all the work we were just doing for Joe Felz. If we were just accepting the answers that were being told to us, we wouldn't have a almost 500-year-old Bible, or the Ruby tablet, or the Emerald tablet, or the Dead Sea Scrolls, or other freaking 5-figure books that are on that website right now for free. If we were just going to accept the answers they were just going to give us. So that's a contradiction of the whole method. So it's like, that's where I I will always stand up for you guys. You will. No one else will ever have. They can always still be a part of the community. They're not exiled from the community, not at all. But no one's getting admin access in that way to actually try to steer you wrong in this type and on a platform type of way that has my name on it. If you're looking for a continuation of it how it is, we've built a community and I have a way of keeping it secure. I built it 3 different locations how we can all communicate, and you don't even need me to access 2 of them. It's the only one that you need me actively to access me is my live. If the other 2, the website or Discord, which is in my bio, you can access those. Those are fine. You don't need me. You can meet the community in there and you do whatever. But when it comes to giving direction and speaking and where people are actually looking for me to talk, I'm not going to allow other people to sit there and say, to change the message and tell you things that aren't true. We're not speculating. I will tell you when I do speculate, and I'll say this is me starting to speculate because I also want to be clear and not send the wrong message across because I understand my voice holds weight. However, since understanding my voice holds weight, I also know where to execute and use that power, as in go in her comments and tell her, we know you're lying. We know you're lying. And here, I'm going to tell you, if you're new here, how we know his girlfriend's lying. She said there's an investigation. There's no investigation. DOJ doesn't investigate suicides. There's a private investigation. And she said she can't talk because of the investigation. If there's a private investigation, that's someone who works for themselves. She's not legally bound to not be able to talk. So that's a lie. They don't investigate suicides because they're not crimes. The DOJ investigates crimes. So if his death wasn't a crime, there's nothing to investigate. So if you're waiting for an answer, you're not going to get one. If a private investigator was actually doing an investigation, that there's no reason to not tell anybody because he's just doing an investigation to find. He doesn't work for the government. He can only turn in his findings to the government, and the government can decide what they're going to do with that. But you can still be like, okay, this is what I found. This is what I found. This is what I found. There's nothing binding you to secrecy. He's not. So like, there's nothing. You're not going to get an answer this way. No one's getting an answer on nothing. And it's just funny how now she's switched. And I'm not speculating. I'm just saying there's something wrong here. She goes on Facebook and says, "This is how we met." I know there's like a lot of online, false narratives about us, but instead of trying to disprove those, here's how we met. Here's how we met. Look at how we met. Look how beautiful we were. That's not how you ended. We know you put him in the hospital twice. You know that a doctor verified him to be released, and then you said, oh, that's not good enough, and you put him back. That we do know. There's no speculation there. Those are all facts. So now we need an investigation because you lied and said there was going to be an investigation. There's no investigation. Not a real one. So we can appoint ourselves to do an investigation just like that private investigator appointed himself and he takes money for it. You're a private investigator. You're a private investigator. You appoint yourself. You appoint yourself. We're all in private investigators. He just takes money for it. We're doing it out of the service of our heart. So you should also look into that guy. Why are you just being such a fucking weirdo? So investigate the investigator and also investigate her because there's no actual DOJ investigation and there needs to be one because you can't drive someone into psychosis and get them to kill themselves. That's illegal. So if there is an investigation to be had, the DOJ might launch one now. The government's not the one that's like trying. They're still trying to just like keep everything together, and I'm not saying the government isn't like completely corrupt and all this stuff in its areas and but the real person who's corrupted everybody and send these error messages to the people in power, and it's not through an email, it's through thought. It's just, and they don't even realize the thoughts are not their own. Satan's sending these messages of hate and to attack and do this and that, and so this is just how our world worked right now. And so even with her, you have to understand, you need to tell her that she's lying and call the demons out inside of her so she can acknowledge that to herself there's something wrong. She needs to acknowledge, and if you can heal a narcissist, you actually can. You've probably been told that you can, but you can. I promise you, you can heal her. Just try. She can do it. All you have to do is just get her to acknowledge and just realize her wrongs. What a narcissist doesn't do is acknowledge that they're ever wrong. You got to get her to acknowledge wrong. She can't just think that she just isn't right or that you have to show her how she's wrong. Just be like, look, girl, I understand. This is a little bit crazy, all this stuff and how everything turned out. And I can only imagine what you're going through. You probably wanted you see how this world works and you just wanted to be on top of it, and you saw Joe, blah, blah, and all this stuff turns out and it's just fucking crazy right now, but it's not too late. That's the biggest message. It's not too late. You don't have to get in trouble. You don't have to. Nothing's really set and certain, but right now you're on the side of the enemy by playing devil's advocate. You're advocating for the devil by not telling us the truth. You're hiding it. You're advocating for the devil. You're the devil's advocate. So it's not too late. Send that message to her. That's probably the best one to send. And that's probably what she believes. She probably doesn't know what happened. And, that's probably another level to it. Work with us. Stop playing devil's advocate, sweetheart. Join us. Join us. You obviously can't lead nothing because you said you're not like Joe. You're not a Christian. You sweat in church. So that's fine, but we can still help you, and you can still join us and not be on the adversary side. Okay, the side of the bots. We'll just call them the bots, the Trojans. And you know what? And that's fine. We can find that out. That's what our investigation is meant to do. We can all be part of it in Discord. Start asking each other questions. Just go in there, drop a topic, ask a question, and just be like, what about this? Hey, I found this. Or just look stuff up and put it in there, screenshot stuff and say, all right, are we going to talk about this? Are we going to address the elephant in the room? Or like, what's going on? Like, for real, Just start it. Start the conversations. Keep talking. The talking is what got us here. For defamation for what? I didn't defame her. I didn't say she did anything. I never said she did anything. I said she lied. And that she's painting a false narrative. And that's what's screwed up right now. You can sit there and threaten me all you want. Guess what? That's civil. That's not freaking legal. Or that I don't give a fuck. Serve me all you want. Serve me all you want. I don't give a damn. I can sit there and say you lied. I can prove that you lied. So go ahead. There will be discovery. Go ahead. Do the lawsuit. I'm so good at code. Your lawyers will be running in circles like, what the fuck, man? You should have saw what happened to me in January. I actually was held against my will. On Christmas, I went and fed the homeless. That's what I do. I feed or I do a charity, and I've stopped for a long time now because I just felt so broken by my own community that I would serve. And then the cops just came to my house and arrested me for just hearsay. And I had proof, and I showed them that I didn't do it. I got attacked. I had marks all over my body. Scratch marks, deep scratch marks. The person's hands were broke. I didn't have nothing like that on me. And I also had proof that they even apologized in text and said that didn't happen, and that they lied to the police. I had all that because, I didn't have all that the day that I got arrested, but I did show them like all the marks and stuff on me that I was attacked. And so I got arrested. They held me against my will. And then they told me when I got bailed out, I had Brendan bail me out. They didn't release me. So I get bailed out. They didn't release me that day. I was on the queue to get released, and I was the only one who didn't get released. They held me in there a whole nother day. So if I have any idea, I'll tell you what that feels like. Yeah, I questioned the higher power. I questioned everything. I'm like, why would you do this to me? I broke down. But it didn't break my will. I didn't kill myself. I'm not going to say. That's the one thing I'm not going to do. I don't want anybody to be attacked, like in return for whatever. But seriously, that's what happened. And then when I got bailed out, the way I was treated by my own community, I went to downtown, the Denver jail in downtown, in the whatever, like in downtown, like there's a jail in downtown. Like in those are the streets on Colfax and 16th Street Mall. Those were the streets that I would go feed every freaking Wednesdays and Fridays. And I knew so many people and like I had they gave me two different cases, so I had two different fucking courtrooms to go through, and I knew people in both those courtrooms. Or sorry, the people who saw me, I didn't know them. They knew who I was just from feeding, and like just they couldn't believe how I was treated in jail and all the stuff that I went through. They dropped my charges immediately as soon as I went into court. There was one thing that they didn't, and they just put it for like. Anyway, I can explain that too, and that was just another thing where someone just lied to the cops, and it was just because over politics. I was actually wearing a shirt. I didn't even realize. I woke up, this courier had a package for me, and I walked outside, and this is just something else that came up when they arrested me, and I didn't even realize this guy actually sat in the parking lot, called the cops on me, did all these things just because he wouldn't give me my package, like because he saw like there's a shirt. My brother got a shirt, and I just don't want to say what it said or anything because I'm not trying to do. I don't care what people think, or I don't care how you feel about politics. Whatever, politics are fucking bullshit. That they don't exist in the next place. And so anyway, this courier saw the shirt I was wearing, and I just woke up. They called me. They were like, "Hey, I have your package. Come outside." And I can't find your building. I'm like, "Okay." So I go downside, and they're just like, "Hey, yeah, I'm here." And I'm like, and I have I'm in on big complex. It's like, anyway. So they are in a different location. I'm like, "I'm here. It's easy to find me. You just literally do this and that." And he's just like, "Oh yeah, well I can't find you, so I'm gonna leave." I'm like, "Okay, dude, I'm coming." So I'm throwing on clothes and I run downside. I go and I'm like running around the parking lot and I'm like, "Okay, so." Because when I first was going to meet him, I didn't have no clothes on. I was just basically in shorts, and I was just meeting him at the gate, and he just wasn't there. And so I'm like, I had to go throw on everything. Then I was running around the parking lot because he said he was going to leave. And then I finally saw him. He's in a Tesla, and he's parked by these garages, sitting there. He sees me, and he just turns on his flashers, parks his car, opens his door, and I'm just like running down there. And then he's just like. Because he had to call me because my number was on the package. He called me, and he's just, "How do I know it's you?" And like he's like, "Your shirt." He goes, "How the fuck would I know it's you? You seem like somebody would steal a package." And I was like, "What?" And I'm like, just waking up. I'm just like, "Are you serious?" And so I'm like, "Give me my package." He's like, He's like, "I have to take a picture of it." So he pulls his phone out and he's taking pictures of me. I'm like, "Dude, take pictures of the package. Or just give it to me." And so he's not giving it to me. So I go pull on it, and he just what he gives me. I'm like, "Dude, I will go fuck your car up if you don't give me my package." And so he just hands it to me. And so I'm like, "Okay." And so we go on, and so I go on. He's like yelling at me, "I'm gonna call the cops. I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police." I'm like, "Good, dude. You have my address. Great. I can't wait to see him." Never got nothing. So when this person attacked me when I was feeding the homeless, that popped up too. So that was the other court case, and I have nothing to hide. I will explain everything. So like that's if people look into me here, you see the public disturbance thing. I wanted so bad out of the case because of what the one courtroom where I knew the one lady, no problem. She told the prosecutor like, "This is so and so. This is he actually helps the community," and they said this on like the microphone in the court, and they dropped my case because of that. And so, and also because of the text message, I had a text message showing that they admitted saying, "I'm sorry, I lied to the police." So that also with all that, and so and then in the other courtroom, not like that. My attorney just fucking. She was just so combative from day one, just so unprofessional, just so mean. I even tried to get her to get removed from my case, and the judge was like, and so like when I'm telling the judge, I'm like, "This lady is just not working with me." She's like, not calling me, not talking to me about my case, and like I'm like, and then so I show up at court, and she's just like sitting there, and like when I asked to talk to her, she's like, "What?" And I'm just like, this is my representation. And so I'm like, I'm trying to show the judge, and she's like, no, you just don't seem mentally fit to be able to represent yourself right now. And like the way they were treating me that way. So I understand what Joe's going through. And I was just going through this December, January, February, March, until I just finally said, fine, I'll accept a fucking charge. And so I accepted a charge of public disturbance with that other one. But the one that they were trying to get me with, the one I was attacked on, that's gone. Because they were trying to get me with a felony. Like, people can make shit up and you don't know who the fuck is making it up. And I'm sure somebody did that to Joe or something or whatever. On something, he was just held against his will. You don't just put yourself in a mental hospital twice. You don't get out and put yourself back in. You don't let you, like, that's not how that works. How do I know? That's how my mother handled me growing up. I lived in a program against my will from 14. I spent my 15th birthday in there. I cut the wires to the magnetic door, broke out of that bitch. This is true. Look into me. Ask my mom. She's on here. Barrel Racer 321. Yeah, I was that smart. I broke out of the facilities and I helped everyone else escape. Like, I'm that smart. I was able to figure out the systems to everything, and I took out a light switch. I knew that the wires were all connected, so I took out a light switch, and there's a wire here, wire here. I took vinyl gloves. I was able to convince a BMT to allow me to. He had just got hired. It was his first day, and they let him work by himself. And I knew that I could manipulate him, and I needed to, because I needed out of here. Because I was also in there for something, and I was dealing with this at 14, or it's after. So this is after I was 15. After my birthday had passed. So when I can't even remember the guy's name. I remember so much. I remember what everything looks like. I have like photographic memory. I can see it all. I can see the rooms. I can see the dorms. I can see just the bunks, our dressers, how many drawers there were. 4 of them, 2 knobs. They were brown. They were old, nasty wood. We had these flat green mats for mattresses that we use like in jail. But I lived there for 6 months. It was a 2-month program. I was there for 6 months. For smoking cigarettes as a child. So, smoking cigarettes, and then also because I couldn't have a social life, so I was just trapped. My mom just wouldn't let me do anything. I was her first child, and she did not do great raising me. She just did all the wrong things, and I've forgiven her. We're our best friends now, but we acknowledge what happened, and I've held it against her for so long as a young adult, but we came past it now. I truly have learned forgiveness and how to forgive her, and she said I'm sorry, and that's all I needed. And so anyway, but during this experience, through breaking out, I was able to convince the BMT to give us a dorm closest to this one door where I knew it was connected to the magnetic door. So I was just like, these guys, they keep fucking with me. They keep peeing in my shampoo. And I wanted, can you please switch me to the other side and like to closest to the shower so I can be the first to shower every night so I don't have to deal with that. And he's just like, yeah, oh my God, absolutely. And I'm like, these two protect me. They wanted to run away with me. And I was like, these two protect me. Will you please just please let them go. I needed to break out of this place. I was willing to do anything. I had to. So he did, and he did. He let us move. And so when shift changed, there was this girl that I knew was gonna fall asleep. She falls asleep every night, and you know she is because she's snoring. She'll be out in the day room, just laying on the couch snoring, and you can hear her because we don't have doors on our dorms. Everything is open. So when she falls asleep, that was my cue. And so the light switch, when I pulled it out, there's 2 wires, and if you just disconnect either one of them, I didn't have a screwdriver. I had to take an old wooden number 2 pencil, flatten the metal end of that bitch, take 2 vinyl gloves. I pulled the eraser out, I flattened it, folded over, flattened it again, and I made a flathead screwdriver, and I was just trying so hard. And the 2 guys behind me were just watching me work on it. Nothing was working. It just kept bending and working, and then out of nowhere you heard a pop. And these little sparks flew onto the floor, and smoke came out of it, and we just ran into our beds and covered ourselves up. She woke up. We could smell it, and we just knew we got caught. We knew we got caught. This fucking bitch walks down. Her name was Miss Hill. She walks down the hall, and she walks past our dorm, and she you could tell she smells something. And she just don't give a fuck. She just walked back, laid back in her shit, and started snoring. And I'm like, what the fuck? So when she started snoring again, I told the guy, I'm like, go check the door. So he goes around the corner. So here, imagine like I'm downscaling everything. So imagine in the building, here's our structure. If you're looking into my room, there is a dorm here. Here's our bunks right here, right there, and there's a one on the wall. There's 3 of them, so there's actually 6 beds in here, but there's only 3 full. We're all on the bottom bunks, and we have blankets covering that you can't see our beds. Like we have everything, like because we make the excuse that we don't want light, so we use our comforters on the top bunk to hang down, so we can sleep with no lights on because all the lights are on, right? So they never check us when you do that. So we so here so when you would walk out and go around the corner, there's this door. This is a magnetic door to the exit to go out to the playground like area. And so this is our light switch was on that wall. And so that's the wall that I did. So our light wasn't working no more. So he walks out and I tell him to check. He doesn't come back. He doesn't do anything. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like sitting there. I'm like waiting. And I'm just like, I wait for a good like 2 minutes. I'm like, what? Where the fuck? So I walk around and I look and he's doing this with the door like in disbelief because it takes 2,000 pounds of pressure to normally open that bitch. And it just freely swung open without the key to unlock the magnet. They used to, without magnets, how we have now, they had keys and you turn them and the magnet would unlock and you would need the key. And so the power was off to it. It didn't work. So that's how I escaped. And my mom, I was walking, those 2 boys got caught. I didn't get caught. I was walking and walking and walking. I went all over Orlando. I was just walking. I went on Turkey Lake Road. I went on OBC. I was just like walking all over Orlando. I went to Universal. I sat there. I was at Dr. Phillips in that neighborhood. I was just so tired. And I was like stealing out of Walgreens and all this stuff. And like, I'm sorry, Walgreens. I'm so sorry. I've like spent a lot of money there. You have raised your prices, and you used to be like at the corner right here. And I've like just been like buying groceries there for a long time. I've made up for it now. But I used to like, that's how I like fed myself. I'd go in there, I'd get like a soda real fast or something, and I'd like, that's how I survived. And then like one night on OBT, on Orange Blossom Trail, it's like where all the, the nightlife walks. There's so much that happened, and I'll just save you guys the details. But how I ended up contacting my mom is because one of the prostitutes, so how do I say it? Anyway, you know what I'm saying. She stops, she calls me from the side, like she's like on the other side of the road. She's like, hey, come over here. And I'm like, I'm a kid, but and like I just wanted some human interaction, like a friend or something. Like I just was like by myself. So I went over there. She goes, how old are you? And I'm just like, I'm 15. And she's like, where's your mom? And I'm like, and I kind of told her the story how I just ran away from rehab, that I just kind of was only in there for smoking cigarettes and just hanging out with my friends without permission. And she's just like, she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. She goes, that's, she could understand my situation, and it was just a really fucked up thing that I was in. And she was just like, you need to call your mom. And so she gave me her cell phone, and listen, this girl had like her gas was on E, like it was all the way on E, and she still drove that motherfucking car like 20 miles to meet my mom. This random lady who was dressed in like all gold. She looked like the Miss Hill. Like I swear, I was like in an alternate universe. It was like, wow. Have you ever seen like a movie where 2 people play the same character, but they're supposed to be different, but it's like the same person, the same actor? It was like that. It was so fucking weird. Because when the prostitute met my mom took me straight back to rehab, and there was Miss Hill already still there, like not still there, but it was like many days later, but she's on nights. It was like 6 a.m. by the time I got there, and it was about to be, and like from all it was just so wild. Anyway, when I finally was there, I ended up falling asleep, and I didn't wake up for, I can't remember, it was multiple days, but I remember when I woke up, I just had all the boys around me. And they were just waiting for me to wake up. Like every day they were just having group next to my room waiting for me to wake up. Because I hadn't slept in so long. I'm able to just like do things for a long time with minimal sleep. And then when I do sleep, it's like boom. So yeah, I understand how it is to feel to be held against your will. And I just, that's why I feel like I'm so driven in this mission, because I relate to it on just such an equivalent level. Brendan was the one that bailed me out of jail, right? Wasn't it for two things that were bullshit?
I camped outside that jail for 3 nights. I dealt with so much. I was buying Black and Milds with quarters and giving them to the homeless people to look out for me while I slept outside the jail. Right outside the doors, like right outside. There was concrete pillars, so I just propped up against the pillar. I had all my jackets, and I just sat there. And I just can't.
He slept outside the jail and waited for them to release me because nobody was okay with what happened.
Like, I was calling Mom, like, you guys keep saying he's getting out this time. I'm getting phone calls from him. He's telling me.
Yeah, he just slept outside the jail because he knew I was put in there, that people just, like, made shit up and they just put me in there and held me against my will. And then they also just... when I was bonded out, they didn't let me out. They kept me in there for another day. I was on the queue. They let everyone out that posted bond but me.
I was taking rental scooters.
And even the police officers and my pop were saying, dude, this is... Because I was showing them my website, how I help people and all this stuff. And they were just like, dude, this is fucked up. I don't know why they're not releasing you. We have no power over this, but I can call over there. So every shift, they just kept calling back over there. Why aren't you releasing him? And it's just like, and they were just like, well, it's processing.
Yeah, like I was running no sleep. I was riding rental scooters to the jail, and then when it was just like, okay, I better just go home, charge my phone because Mom was kept
So I've just
me.
been through a very hard life, and I've understood that I can't let anyone have admin access to my life. Because what I've been through, they've all turned against me, except this guy. That's the one thing. You can bribe him. You can offer him $20 billion. Doesn't matter.
You can't even move.
We have something more valuable than money. And I'm trying to
an average person like me
build that within, help Joe's community find that within themselves, and so you can find and be this good to people.
Because money's the root of all evil, so if I'm going to combat evil...
I love you guys. But yeah, he's just been so good to me. He's been so good to me. And that's what's made me I always knew since I found one and I built... He wasn't like this when I met him. He was not like this. He wasn't loyal. He wasn't anything. Weren't you full of demons and codes?
Yeah, full of trust issues. No faith, just everything.
He didn't believe in God. I fixed everything.
Completely broken.
I fixed everything.
My ex was like manipulating my life and bringing it down.
I probably didn't take the best approach, like all the time. Like there's a lot of yelling and stuff, because there's sometimes he's also just he was so evil, but he's not anymore. There was evil inside of him, but he's not evil anymore. Like that, he's like my proof. He's like my, I don't know what you call it. Like he's just the proof of what I'm saying. It's a testimony, right? I'm just trying to help, and then people don't want me to help you, and it's just stupid. And it's not the government. It's just stupid, freaking, Satan and what he just does to people. They don't even realize they're his army. There's a lot of people that question everything that I'm talking about, that just that criticize me. That's what I'm saying. Those are the error messages. Those are the bots he sent to come attack me and to post about me and say all these things on the internet right now. And that's okay. I can take it because I haven't lied. I'm telling you the truth about everything. be nice if I could get my mom on this live so I could actually introduce a lot of like some of the hardships that I went through, so you understand the magnitude that like, you know, you can heal, you can become. It doesn't matter what you've been through. Your traumas can help, you know, define and find a way out. You actually have to make them to understand how errors are and how you can fix them. So it's like learning from your mistakes. You have to be able to make errors so you can edit those. It's like kind of like your own tutorial of editing. Man, I ate 30 fucking shrimp on this live. These are all the tails.
Wow.
The bitches was good, and then now I'm hungry again. And there's food in a crock pot. Where's Christian? Oh, yeah.
I was losing faith because.
Yeah, I take a break. Sometimes you have to take an exhaustion. You don't always have to be at full speed. You have to I know that I have to deliver, spread a message and deliver it, but I also have to exhaust so I can take a rest, hibernate for a second, and come back. We need to get water. You want me to? Oh, you want to DoorDash us some water?
Yeah.
Or do you want to take my card and go get us some water? Please. Do you still have my key bank?
No.
Here's the other one then. Here you go. You right. That's why I'm sending him. And he's gonna go pick it up instead. He's just gonna go. He's gonna go to the store. Unless Christian's got the car. So yeah. Oh no, he's right here. Okay. The car key? Car? Try that? Or that's not key. The key?
The car?
Yeah.
It's here in the front for the computer check.
Okay. Hey, Mima, I know you want to come up here. I'll bring you up here now if you want to come up here while I'm taking a relaxed break. Oh, it is right here.
Yes?
Oh, wait, this is not for you. Brennan, listen to me. This is the speed. Brennan, they're right here. Hold on. I'll be back. I have to, you know what? Yes, I washed my hands. Watch out for wait. So I'm gonna get on the Discord and check the channel and see what people's talking about. Um, and I'll, if there is anything in there, I will go in it and share it with you guys and talk about it. For those who aren't on Discord, because I know it's like a weird thing to go on. Pending. Did she want to come back up? Oh no. My, did you want to come back up?
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. I really just wanted to come on because about a year ago, when I first saw Joe's video about the ancient book, and he was talking about how, I don't know if it was $6,000 or $9,000 at the time, and I was like, man, that they price these things at a place where we can't reach them, people like me, and I was like, dang, I'm never gonna get my hand on that book. And chopped it up, and here I'm coming across, and I'm looking at all the stuff that you have provided us, and I'm like, wow, just wow. So I just wanted to thank you because, like I said, like over a year ago, I saw that video and then chopped it up as a loss. Like I'll never get it. I'll never get it. But I'm so happy.
Dang. I guess I will have to keep posting about it and stuff because I didn't realize, you know, I didn't know how like the monetary value. I didn't really care about that. I just knew that it was like rare,
Right.
and all the other books of L.H. Anderson were also rare.
Yeah.
We also got those too. Those are also like the author that wrote that book wrote a couple other ones like it, and they're on there as well.
Yeah. I'm just so wowed at everybody that's, coming together to help, and how fast you have been putting up all these sites, and just you're amazing. So just wanted to thank you.
What do you think about, how we're trying to continue on and trying to figure out what happened to him?
I think that's amazing. And I think, any of his supporters, when you follow somebody and things like this happen, and, especially when they say, I would never hurt myself. And then next, they end up hurt. Then absolutely. We owe it to those people to, find out what's really going on, because those things can happen to us.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that.
Absolutely.
I already follow you.
Yes, you do. I have to thank you. Thank you.
So how's your day going?
I'm on my lunch break right now. Still, I haven't fully, got there yet. I would love to walk away from this job. I've been, trying to nickel and dime and working this job and doing side hustles, trying to get by in this economy. But I
The
would
public
love
library
to.
is going to take us all out.
Exactly.
The librarians are going to attack us next. It's funny because I didn't realize how much people knew about the information already. I was just like, there's secrets here. Take them, da da da. And they're like, we know about these secrets. We just didn't know. Where to get
Yeah.
them? And here, so it's like, since we're all, I couldn't have done it without I couldn't have done it by myself. I didn't have any of the books. I just used the platform and I had 900 followers. I had nothing. I was just like, I was broken hearted in a way that I not for people, not in like my will was broken or my heart was broken for myself, but I was just like what I've had, like once I've lost someone, I've been to the part where I've like the point of grief where it's like, it just sucks. And it's like, it's hard to see forward. And I know how that feels. However, I didn't get that feeling with Joe. I didn't know how to not see forward. I just knew that there was going to be a lot of people that felt that way. And then I was like, we can figure this out. And that's just my passion. And I didn't think it was going to work, but it did. And we ended up getting way more than we ever thought we could. People just started just doing everything they could to find books. And they're just like, if I can use this, if I can use my resources to make this available, I'm going to do it. So people would go buy books, scan them, and then make them free. And that's what they did. And so there's a guy that flew to Switzerland for what, like even a USB drive file that's on there.
Wow.
Yeah. Like within the last 4 days did all this to put it on this site.
Wow. Yeah. That is, I don't even know where to start. And, with all these, the books and stuff, I mean, I definitely have to get put these on my computer because right now I'm just working off of my phone, but I definitely have to make space for my computer because there's so much information there and so many things that can just open us up, and I'm here for it.
Yes, I'm just glad. And now we can like be a community and you can guide yourselves however you want. No, you can call yourselves whatever you want. You can do whatever you should never look for a leader. The temple is from within you. Never
Right.
forget that. So
Yeah.
we all have to share our tools of what we know with each other. And that's what we do.
Yeah, yeah, and then with the way AI is buying, or these companies are buying up all these books and destroying them, and now that you have this platform and this library, it's like they can never get a
AI
hold
has
of
been
it.
sending that's a lot of what the Trojans were. There I have been fighting AI hacker, like an AI
Ah,
powered hacking systems that have been trying to take the site down. And I was showing in real time like my diagnostic tools and figuring out what it was, how many Trojans or bots or whatever were coming through. I was able to identify it all and I'd show them. I'd show it on live and people were just like, what the fuck is going on?
wow.
Yeah, so that's why we had so many site migrations. I created 9 different build outs and I kept like changing. We had 9 migrations and off of 3 different. There's even one that I've taken down. They've completely flagged it. They don't want you free Bible access. They've made it to where it's not even published anymore. But if you were to type it in, it says security alert. Security of what? There's nothing there. There's nothing that's not even published to the internet. Why is it already flagging internet when there's nothing even there? They're trying to keep you from accessing it. That's why.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Evil
it will.
spirits working hard.
They'll put this one down too. But guess what? I'll do another one. They can't stop it. At this
Right,
point, they can't stop me because I know what to do.
right. And
They
you are
haven't.
so
They
fast. I
haven't.
love it.
Yeah, and if they wanted to take away my internet, boom! I get a new internet provider router system. Do you understand how easy that is to do same day now with home internet at AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, or wherever you want to go?
Right, right. We can't
So they'll never shut
unstoppable
it
right
down.
now.
You just have to look for these loopholes and work faster and be able to think of these things faster than they can stop you.
Right.
That's what we did, boo.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, I just wanted to come in and thank you. I have to go to get back on from into work, but I just wanted
Okay.
to let you know I am quietly watching. I'm be in the comments, and I
Okay.
love what
No,
you're doing.
absolutely. This comment. That's funny. Cosmic bean. Thank you, you guys. Well, I hope you have a great day, my. I hope you have a great day at work, a safe day, a blessed day. I hope you just, find whatever you need to look for out of that, or you get what you're looking for out of that information, and whatever you don't get, you can always come back here and we'll figure it out together.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right, bye-bye. And that's the same thing I offered Joe Felz's girlfriend. Like, look, there's something wrong here, and you're not addressing the correct thing. Address the correct thing. Acknowledge what you need to acknowledge. Admit that that you had a part to play in this. Stop it. Acknowledge. Stop. He's not here anymore. When you drive someone to the point of psychosis, and then they end up doing it because of the part you play. You held him against his will. I know what that feels like. And then, a doctor confirmed him to be released, and then you held him against his will again right away. I can only imagine what that feels like. So, you know what? If you contributed to that, you need to take ownership of that. and stop avoiding accountability and say false narratives. You're the only false narrative was you and you trying to show us you and how you got together with Joe and saying this is what we looked like when we got together. Great. Now show us what you looked like the other day, like the day before he died. Show us that. Show us like a before and after. Before now and here, like, didn't do that. She only showed us the before. She didn't give us the after. We only got the before. She goes, look at the before. You missed the trend, sweetheart. Like, it's before and after. But once I won't be on that side of defense for Joe when she comes on this side of protecting Joe. Not deleting all his videos and his legacy and what people saw inspiration in and information, and going in and deleting his DMs because there's people that just came in here and said, yeah, I was messaging Joe and those messages aren't there anymore. People who knew Julian Brown have been in here and they're like, yeah, she's deleting our messages out of his account. Why would you even do that? Now we know you've done that. It's been publicly known, and I'm making sure other people know about it. Yeah, they're not reporting messages. She's just deleting them. It feels like she's trying to cover something up. This is why you don't give, when someone dies, you don't give the spouse the phone. But she said that there's an investigation and wait for the investigation, the results of the investigation. It's not an investigation by the DOJ. The DOJ doesn't investigate ruled homicides. If they're saying it's a homicide, they only investigate crimes. If it's not a murder, there's nothing to investigate. It's not like being pew-pewed and then they have to find out who did it. No, there's not a crime there. The Department of Justice only serves justice when there's a crime, when there's a law broken. If you're out of here, if you did it to yourself, there's no law broken. There's no investigation process. That's how it works. Yeah, but it's been sweat to what GBI. There's a private investigator. We're all private investigators. He works for himself. He doesn't work for the government. That private investigator can't tell her to stop talking about it. She can answer questions. That doesn't mean, like, what do you mean a private investigator? Is that private investigator that whoever you hire or whoever, whatever, we need another investigator that the public knows and that the public trusts with this case, not just whoever one person privately hires. We don't privately hire things when we don't trust private anything right now. We need to know and vet everybody. It needs to be public. Even the fucking DOJ isn't private. That's part of the public sector. So a private person, yeah, they're not appointed by anything of law. I don't know what PL is or Pi or Pro. What are you talking about? Working for someone? What is this? Paige? What do you mean, honey? What do you mean, honey? GBI is some organization in Georgia higher up investigating now. Well, that's not the law. Who gives a fuck? That's not the public sector. The GBI. Public sector is Department of Justice. Yeah, public sector. Department of Justice is public sector. Just looked it up. Public sector. So yeah, GBI is private sector. GBI is private sector. Oh, I thought you were saying GBI was a company. You didn't say what? Okay, so sweetheart. Okay, not there's 50 states. Most likely, not nobody knows what GBI stands for. Maybe you could say that. You're so not like FBI where we all go by FBI. It's not like okay, there's going to be a program here in Colorado, and I'm going to say like our feeding program. You're not going to know what the fuck that is. That's why I'm like GBI. That sounds like a private company. It's the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Okay, so if that's still FBI has already closed their inquiry of the investigation. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, it's in the GBI. It's already closed. What the fuck are you talking about? It's not being investigated. Where's the findings? It's not being investigated anymore because it was ruled a suicide. So what they need to investigate now is why did he kill himself? Why did she put him in the hospital? A doctor said, okay, he's okay to come out. And she puts him right back in. And you can't just make someone kill themselves. That's illegal. So that needs to be investigated. If they've already closed the inquiry and ruled it a suicide, it's not being investigated. Go look it up. They closed the inquiry. Thank you. Let's keep the information alive. And these people that don't actually research, do your freaking research. Don't just Google, look at your first sentence and be like, oh, it's investigated. No, bitch, it's done. The investigation was to see if it was suicide, homicide. It's a suicide, so there it is. It's not being investigated. She's telling you it's being investigated. Google tells you it's not, that it's over. It's done. It's done. It's a suicide. Nope, no crime. It's done. She's telling you, I can't talk about it because it's an investigation right now. The girl has nothing to say, does she? They're not doing anything, Paige. Do you want me to just go ahead and share my screen? I'll show you. I officially closed their what? Keep fucking thinking like you fucking know what the fuck you like. I get tired of trying to explain myself. You want to argue, I tell you, and you just want to fucking argue. But they're just gathering reports. They're not doing shit. They closed it. Shut the damn. You're about to piss me off. Go listen to what the fuck I'm saying. They've already got through your head. Made you okay? Whatever. Her lies got to you. It's obvious. Stop spreading disinformation in the comments. Even if you support us, you support us. Be here, be part of the community. Go in the Discord, but you're not going to be on the live putting fake information in there. It's not being investigated. I already just showed you. It's over. It's a suicide. It's not being federally investigated. It's not by state localization or the state organizations are not. They're not investigating it as a crime. The investigation of the GBI is already over. Look it up. It doesn't take long to find this information. So as soon as you were sitting there telling me, I was able to debunk it on live. They can. They just don't want to. They want to be. They don't want anybody smarter than them. And it's just really fucking annoying. And I'm really fucking in Aries. And I shouldn't say it that way, to be honest. Right now, currently, I'm able to think clearer than them. I shouldn't say that I'm smarter than them, but I'm able to think clearer, way clearer than they are. That's why I have righteous anger and I get so upset at it because I made information free and I'm just live and you're so mad at me and you're watching me and you're obsessed with me. What? I'm building a community. Leave the community alone. Why do you care what other people are doing? Why are you so toxic? Go see a therapist. Mm-hmm. You gotta ask the girlfriend, why didn't she upload his book? If she was such about continuing Joe's mission, and if it's so great between them, and she just knows Joe and they were just that was his soulmate and all this stuff, wouldn't she be helping him continue his mission or something like Erica Kirk? I'm not saying Erica Kirk is like, but like the bitch stepped up right away and moved on. This girl fucked up, knew she fucked up, and tried to hide. The reason I feel so passionately about this is because I've been held against my will as a child. Years ago, like 20 years ago. And 18 years ago. So, and then it just happened to me again on Christmas Day in December, like last December. And even when I was bailed out, they didn't let me out. Not that day. They let everybody else that was on the bailout queue that day. Even the officers, that they just knew, like, because I would feed the homeless. And like, yeah, they just, yep. And I'm only explaining this. I know I've said this before. The reason like people are like, oh, people's like psychosis. No, I know I'm on live. There has been 5.6 thousand people that have joined in this live. There's only 60 people here. So there's always different people coming in. So I have to. So, it's just, been a lot with the holding him against his will, avoiding the accountability, lying, the righteous anger, and then just the bots that she created by saying, oh, look at how we used to be. Stop paying attention to what happened. Look at how we grew. Look at how we met. Look at these videos of how cute we were. That doesn't matter. We want to know what happened. We want to know your last day together, not your first day together. That's not the whole point. We want to know why you put him in there. What did he do to you? What did you do to him? We want to know now. He was telling us he wouldn't kill himself. He did. So now it's Joe Felz community. We can't be Joe Felz community without knowing what happened. If just knowing the person who started the community died. And it's just not... We don't know what happened. And then there's no investigation. We just showed you on this live. The investigation's over. It was a suicide. There's no criminal investigation. And she told you she can't talk to you because it's an investigation. Well, since the investigation's over, are you going to talk, sweetheart? Because after this, I'm going to make a whole video about it. I'm going to take that screenshot and be like, okay, investigation's over. So start talking. What happened? Thank you for the follows and all that stuff. But yeah, you guys are freaking awesome. I'm glad. Like I just have the time now to be able to sit here and spread this message and say this. But now, since I got that next, wave of people that were in here, does anybody else want to come up and introduce themselves and say hi? Thank you. But that's the thing. I didn't know Joe, but I will be a friend to him, and always will be. He doesn't need to know me personally for me to actually do things for him, and that's same for you. Everybody, go to the website. Go look at all those books. Go look at all those books. Go look at all those books. You would have never have got these in your lifetime. Nobody would have. You got the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Emerald Tablet, the Ruby Tablet. You got the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. You got the Book of Enoch. You got the Gospel according to Peter. That's not in the Bible. You also got the Gospel of Mary, Jesus' mother. That's not in the Bible. We've got we've got so much. We've got the 1560 First Testament Bible. Not the First Testament. We got the 1560 first written edition of the Geneva Bible. That's on the website. It's up there, free download. You'll never find it again. There's only 150 copies, hard copies of that thing on this planet, and it's almost 500 years old. There's a lot of ancient texts on that site. A lot of things about, open up your mind and stuff like that. Yeah, it's all free. It's all free. It's all free on the website. Yeah. Okay. Will someone type into the chat and put the website? It's theholyword.net, theholyword.net, and I'll pin it so people can go find these books. And then if you find something you might like and you realize, holy fucking shit, this is legit. This isn't just like a typed up Word doc. Yes. Then drop me a follow. And then stay with us and just keep watching what we're doing. Pin this comment. There we go. Thank you, Avonlea. Follow back. Oh, and you have a cross in your profile picture. Welcome. I know that's a Catholic thing, but I love Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's one thing. I know that people who don't know me just don't know, but at least I know that I could never be something like the Antichrist, because I have so much love for Jesus. I love Jesus, and so that's something that could never be taken. I used to never believe in God in 2018, and that has all changed. And for now, 8 years, 8 years almost. Yeah, 8 years. It's been 8 years now. For this whole crazy journey of just discovering of all this stuff. It's just been amazing. It's led to here. And I know that we're all on the same journey. We've all been on this journey of self-discovery. If you're here and you stayed here for the past couple of days, or you're just coming in, it's probably not by accident. Just click my profile and look at the videos and just look into this stuff. Do your research. Just look into it. Look into Joe Felz if you don't know who he is. If you just look into all this stuff and just ask questions and come back here and join the lives, and you'll get the gist of what's going on. Right? Just a Christ follower, and I totally understand that. That's exactly what I am. I just believe in Christ's message so much now that have been explaining how I understand it, and I'm explaining it on a mathematical level. That's how geez, yeah. It's just been so amazing these past few days. I still haven't fully processed the magnitude of what we've done for other people, and that was the entire goal. And of course we have succeeded in doing that for some people, but my thing is I want to keep, if you can, it's there's people who are in this world who are if you can make $1, you can make $1 million. I'm if you can change a life, you can change 1 million. Hello, fellow human. Hello. Hello. Unless you're not human. Hello, alien. That's another thing. If with life and forces and stuff like that, like if with aliens and other races, we need to coexist with everything. If like that's how it is. If we're going to be divine, like divine in the right way of under what God's vision was for us. You can't like be like if there is aliens like think they're demons immediately. It doesn't mean like they're just automatic air codes. God has many creations. God has created so many things. So it's like, how do you know what he's still working on? He got tired of us and started working on other shit. We're not the only project. We're so self-centered to think we're God's only children right now. God has many children of all kind. He's created everything. I'm sure he's just continuing to create. That's what he does. Facts. So, who up here? If you have listen, I don't really like this. If you've been watching for a while and you have went and you've listened to what I said and you have like went and you told the girlfriend like, hey, like this is like dystopian, this isn't real, you're lying, the investigation's over, you can talk about it, you lied, like just whatever. If you said anything, make yourself known in the chat, and so I can bring you up and so we can talk, because I need people like that. That's how kind of like I met Brendan. Like I would like give him a task, he'd follow through, and that's how I knew I could trust him. We don't know. That's what we're trying to do. We can't jump the gun. We can't speculate. We don't know. We're trying to figure that out. The person who does know, the people who do know, aren't telling. Like the way it needs to be done. There was an investigation. We just found out in this live. Like I know that suicides aren't investigated by the Department of Justice. Once it's a suicide, there's no investigation. Someone's like, oh, but the GBI is investigating it. Looked it up. Georgia Bureau of Investigation was investigating it. It's a homicide. They closed their inquiry. If you don't believe me, boom. Thank you. So we work fast over here on the disinformation. She lied, and she's like, oh, I can't talk because there's an investigation. Not anymore, honey. You can talk. You made a post last night. Instead of addressing the false narratives, I'm just going to go and show you, this is how we met. Look at these videos on Facebook and Instagram of how we met. Look how cute we were. Why are you distracting us from what we actually want to know? Why don't you, instead of showing us your first day together, show us your last day together. Show us what that looks like. How about a before and after? Not, just before? Huh. Use your discernment. If you didn't have any of these like thoughts, she fooled you. She lied to you. She got to you. No investigation. Go ahead. Can I get like clapping emojis in the chat? Like, can you get like the clapping hand emojis and just, if you agree, like, and just spam that shit. Just keep going with it. Just, and then repost it. You can hit this like this too after you hit the clap emojis. Do this to hit the repost. And like, yes, thank you, Sarah. Yes, right. Like, we gotta clock it too. Like, you gotta clock that T, honey, because sometimes that's like your discernment. This is our modern way of of discernment. Clock that T, like that's discernment. So, however we can speak to the people, clock the T, discernment. However, let that lady know. Now you know. Investigation's over. Send the screenshot. Show her like, what are you talking about? What happened to Joe? Investigation's over. What were the findings? Thank you. She has taken over his page. Yeah, she literally declared that. She gets on here and says, hi, you guys. I'm going to be here right now until Joe figures out his shit, gives you this weird ass, I don't know, I think she's trying to give you like life advice that was so disingenuous. It just like felt so disingenuous. You're just like, what the fuck's going on? That's your discernment, your clock in the teapot thing kicking in. And then she's like, yeah, so he's figuring his shit out. I'm going to be here with you guys, I guess now for, whatever. She did that thing where she's just like, I guess you're just stuck with me for a little while now. Like, you're just giving us an ultimatum. Nobody asked for you. They're asking for Joe. You just said you're a whore sweating in church. That's not Joe. They want Joe, not you. Why are you forcing you down their fucking throats? And then you're like, look at how we met. Look at us. It's me. He loved me. Look at me. Bitch, no one gives a fuck about that. We want to know why you're going against his mission. That's not a soulmate. And then you're deleting people's messages. They're coming up in my live saying she's deleting my messages out of Joe's account. Me and Joe talked before this, and now like I was keeping those messages for sake or for keepsakes, and she's deleting his inboxes. Going through deleting all of his messages and then deleting posts and just leaving some up. It's kind of like when someone died, I don't know, Jesus and his disciples, it's kind of like when they died and they wrote their gospels, it's like people that came after them, or like they told their gospels, people just wrote whatever the hell they wanted to down and just changed it. Because they didn't want to, like, what? I don't agree with that. We're going to delete this book. Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the one who witnessed the death, the burial, and the burial, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's remove that. Delete. That's not important. The only person that was in the cave with Jesus while he died and like did the ritual to resurrect him, because that's what you need to look at these lost books. Oh yeah, delete that. That's why the last known location of the Holy Grail is now the Last Supper. So now you're not actually able to trace it because its actual real last known location was also deleted. So yeah, it sounds a lot like that. Why would you do that when someone dies? Why are you deleting information? What's wrong with you? Why do you care? Why can't you just let information be information and that something's bigger than you are? You can't handle that? Is that why you don't follow God and that you say, God damn, and that same message where you say, I guess you're stuck with me now, and you challenge the divine. You're just like, God damn, and you just keep saying, I'm going to say it anyway. God damn, have a good day, God damn. Like, you sit there and be so spiritually stupid and disconnected while saying, I'm so open, I'm awake, listen to me, here's my advice, you're stuck with me now. Joe's handling his shit. And yeah, God damn, click. Like, are you serious? Damn. I think I made that point. I feel like you need to stop making everything about your skin color, because you're beyond your skin color. You're human. I'm not perpetuating black women. I'm perpetuating myself. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? I muted it, but what the fuck was that? Like, don't get in here with that type of ignorance now. That's why you can't make it to heaven, because you can't sit there and think past skin color. If you're going to do that, you can't sit there and think about, you can't do that. You can't go to heaven and fight with everybody up there. You're not going to go. You can't just be like, I'm going to just care about who I care about and fuck everyone else. And when we're all in heaven, it's still fuck you, bitch, fuck you, bitch, fuck you, bitch. You can't do that. I know. Like, who gives a fuck what you look like? Do you see I haven't showered? Do you see I haven't shaved? Do you look at, like, the facial hair growing on my... Like, I haven't, like... You give a fuck what you look like? Is that all you take pride in? Stop doing that. Anybody who takes pride in what you look like, stop doing that. I did that too. And like, I just know it doesn't even fucking matter anymore. I mean, I do need a haircut at some point, but I just don't even care. Like, I just don't care. I just don't. And just like that, the topic of conversation changed. That's how the devil works. Yep, exactly. So back on to it. It doesn't matter. Just like those other creators who was like live showing you how it works. Exactly. It's like when there's a threat and you're revealing yourself to fix how to fix the Trojan, you become like one of those things that help fix Satan's Trojans that he puts into reality. He sends out like an error message to everyone, and which everyone activates and becomes a bot and just sends a hateful message. And then they get you to disrupt your wavelength and your vibrations. They don't want, because it does. It makes your vibrations go. I can feel like when I'm like talking about these things, I'm existing on like, it's like I'm here and I'm still like, it's not like I'm like somewhere else, but I could just tell like I'm like I just feel like my pupils are like that, if that makes sense. So it's like, and then when they do that, I could tell my pupils go like this. Like it's like they would, the feeling, you can tell the vibes go down. Everything, it's negativity, positivity to negativity. There we go. Yes, sweetheart. Yes, I think this is like what we're supposed to do for each other. This is our awakening. This is how you awaken. It doesn't happen overnight, like right away. It has to be done in everyone, and we have to do the work to do it to the blind and the people who are willing. There's going to be people who just aren't willing. Though, that mark of the beast, honey. Mark of the beast. Yeah, there's still going to be people with them. That's why they're written in the book. There's still going to be people with that. That's just God's work to handle. There's just going to be unchangeables. So just know that you can't fix everybody. They have to have the will to change. That's why God gave you free will. Don't judge them. Don't whatever. They have to have the will to change. But when it comes to Joe Felz, that's a little bit different. It's public. You're lying. That's how we came together. We built community. It just feels right to do this. It just feels right to figure out what happened to him. Not necessarily attack her, but tell her to tell the truth. Like, hold her to trial, a public trial. Like, tell us the truth and let us be the judge. Yes.
Hi, Jordan. Hi, Jordan.
That's the thing. That's how I know who my community is, because there's a thing. If you watch long enough, I put out Easter eggs in my live, and there's only one thing that I know is me and my community. If they've really truly paid attention, they'll know how it's me. I have 3 names: a cat, a lizard, and a snake. And if you can name all 3, that's how I know that you've been paying attention and that you're not just a bot. Because that information's nowhere on the internet. And if you watch long enough, you'll see me interact with them, but it will never be all in the same day. Where's the link? It's in my bio. It's here. There's also another one. There's also another hidden thing and it resembles another one, but I can't even give that out because it just adds an extra layer of security of how I can prove who I am. If someone ever tries to prove that they're me, there's things about me that you won't know, that my community will be able to verify about me, to say, okay, how do we know it's you? So cat, lizard, snake, and there's another symbol. There's another thing. I actually have a fourth, but I haven't showed it ever on live. Not talked about it, talked to it, nothing. So nobody would know what it is. It's like a master key. So that's how I've thought through a lot. I didn't think of everything right away. I've just been, you know, especially after yesterday, you know, with everybody, you know, sharing the types of content they're sharing, whether it's with the mission, against the mission. It's like no one was picking up where Joe left off. No one offered to do that. No one was offering to do that. So like I do that, and then people have a problem with that, and now they just wanted to take it down. So that is where I've like where I came up with all this other shit, because yesterday was just a lot. And so I told everybody to start asking her questions. Like, ask her what happened. Just start asking her what happened. And then she posted that last night, saying I would respond. And then, you know what? How about no? Respond. You can. You're free to have the floor. Investigation's over. Y'all know about it now. If y'all don't believe me, investigation is over. It's been over. That's why we know it's a suicide. Screenshot that. Yeah, well, she also said it's an investigation. That's why she can't talk about it right now. She can't address the public's questions because it's, baby, y'all know what I'm getting to. Anybody want to come up? Anybody that agrees with what I'm saying? You want to come up here and just be like, damn, right? And add your whatever to it? Yes, you want to come up? Andrea, come on, girl. You can come up. Come on. I'll follow you back. Oh, you're beautiful. You can come up. You want to come up? Don't be shy. Okay. What was the yeah for? But you agreed. That's probably what the yeah for. Well, I'll follow you. That's okay. How do I make my setting notifications let me know when you're live? I honestly don't know. I do not know. Oh, you got soda, girl. Give me some of that. Give me some of this. This is good. Oh my god. Ask for water. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. Real time, you get to prove. I asked Brendan for water. He got me everything he knew I would want. He got me root beer. He got me Coke, and he got me water. He just... I haven't had... Oh my god. Huh? The bell on my... Is there a bell? So, is there a bell somewhere? Is it like here or up here somewhere? Because I won't be able to see it because I can't get notifications for myself. It is. So, it should be somewhere up here, you guys. Somewhere there should be like a note, something that resembles like a bell. I guess that's how you get notifications about lives. Thank you. I didn't even know that. Thank you so much. Oh, if you click on the profile? Okay. Thank you. You're the best, Brendan. I love you. Thank you. Hit my name at the top, and then you see the bell. Okay. Thank you so much, Andrea, and everybody else helping with Philly Mike, Flower. And another type of flower. You know what? And honestly, you wouldn't have seen mine either if it wasn't for Joe. Like that's the thing. It's like you don't see something until someone dies. And why is that? Why is it? Why don't you find value in what they're sharing with you then? Why do you wait for them to die for it to be so significant? You know? So I've been like struggling with that too. But in a way, it's still how I'm able to help spread his message. But it's just like I would still rather. I would much rather him like what not happened, and him have his mission. I come across it, and I feel compelled to like either do what I do with the information or just whatever. It's just the loss of life at this point, and but even though it's not up to me and like you know what I'm comfortable with, it's just things happen how they happen, and I can see why I can see why stuff happens, and why this happened, and it's just very unfortunate. It's like it's a very wicked world we live in. Why we have to go through sacrifice? It just why well it's people so there's that level of like why, and then there's that level of knowing why. It's because this isn't our first experience. Our first experience is much beyond this. This is just another experience. We've existed since the beginning, but we just this is our test, because this is basically running a virus checker. This is our virus checker. God's seeing what's wrong with all of us, and then we have all the tools to fix it. And so once it's fixed, as on earth as it is in heaven, bridges back. Devil goes into heaven. Boom. Yeah. God resets, because God does allow the devil to go into heaven and still wreak havoc. Why do you think I don't know why you think you die and go just pop up into heaven. There's no bridge, and also there's still an event that needs to happen. Satan needs to freaking go into heaven and wreak havoc into it, and all the angels are going to see it. All will see it. It says all will see it, and so all eyes will see it. So when that happens, and if that's still to happen, why would you be going to heaven to have eternal happiness when there's still a war to be had in heaven? It's because we've been lied to, and that's what we're here on live for the new people that are in here. So I just kind of like gave you it all in a nutshell. Right? Yep. But it's actually, to me, it's much simpler than that. It's because it's numbers. It's all numbers. The building blocks to everything is mathematics. It's just very simple. Consciousness is mathematics. The state of being is mathematics. That's just physical manifestation. Like how you exist in a third-dimensional physical manifestation is because you have a back-end code that your source code is somewhere else where your willpower is housed. That's where you're connected to right here. It connects you to the server. And so it's just what, yeah, it's all mathematics. It's all numbers. And you were taught to think numbers looked like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not what numbers looks like. Numbers looks like this. This is ancient geometry. All of this is ancient geometry. This is what numbers looks like. This is what numbers represent and what they actually look like when they physically manifest. They can look like, there's so many different language inputs for what numbers can look like. So there's numbers that give this the gold color, how it reflects light, the color of light it's reflecting, how it's like moving, how I can simulate its movement and its position. If you want to talk about, telekinesis. Well, that's just the same thing. You need to understand how to edit the code on the back end of how to change the position of this to here. And right now, when you try to do that, there's an error code that pops up, and you're not getting a window that tells you the error code, and so that it's just not working. Once you get the error code fixed, you re-execute the command, and boom, execute again. And once it works, that's how you know you have the perfect code. And that's how there's witches. That's how there's whatever. There's people who have done this. God advocates against doing certain things like that. And that's where it's called witchcraft. But that's essentially what it is. You can access it that way. It's all numbers. They lied to you, they told it to you in a different way to where you wouldn't understand it. And that it was all fairy tale fantasy sounding. When actually, there's nothing fantasy about it. It's all mathematically able to be proven and calculated. They just lied to you and didn't tell you that. Everything is. It's all numbers. Yo, read the chat. I read that. What's up? What's up, Dorian? You want to come up here? Or what is it about? Hold on. No, this I don't read the chat. So, there's too much negativity in the chat. If I was to stare at the chat and read the chat, I'd be distracted from what I have to say. So no, I don't read the chat. You should be listening and stop typing. If you have anything to say, you can go to the Discord and talk to whoever about it. You can go and go read the books. There's freaking hundreds of thousands of dollars of information that is now accessible to you for free. I'm sure the libraries, the Vatican, everybody just like wants to take the librarians just want to take us out, girl. They're all out of a job. And I didn't mean to do it like that, but it should be free. It shouldn't be a market. It shouldn't be sold to you in this way. Information and knowledge, is so valuable and powerful. But to me, I believe it should be free, and I just made it free. Oops. Dead Sea Scrolls, Emerald Tablet, Ruby Tablet. We got all the lost books of the Bible, Jesus' mother's gospel, Mary Magdalene's gospel. We got the Gospel of Peter. We've got Tobit. We've got Esther. We've got Enoch. We got everything up there. Like you're witnessing something that you just never witnessed before, and I know it's hard to understand. It's hard for me to manifest and to host this thing, but I'm doing it, and then sometimes I get misunderstood, and then I just don't give a fuck anymore. I know who I am, and that's why my community knows who I am. Our community, your community, Joe Felz, it's all of our community. Nobody tells anybody what the fuck to do. You only come when you want to. If you don't want to be a part of anybody's community or like whatever, and you don't want to be in charge of your own self, go somewhere else. Don't try to be in charge of anybody the fuck else. I'm not trying to tell anybody what the fuck they got to do with their life. But I'm telling you, basically, what you can do if you want to change for the better. It starts with working on yourself, not working on somebody else. We're just working on a little extracurricular mission of finding out what happened to the person that was the catalyst for all this to actually happen. I hope he just blesses us all, and he just realizes our efforts that this is what we want, and that's what he said. It said, those who have the thirst of those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, your hunger and thirst will be fulfilled. So if you thirst for it, if you're that's what you are, make yourself known. Please join our community so we can just know there's other people like us. We could all just help each other. We don't have to be in charge of each other. You know what I'm saying? That's not what God said. The temple is within you and around you. It is within you, not someone else. Jesus said the temple is within you, not someone else. Oh, 100. Thank you. Tap, tap, tap. Aw, Adriana is so nice. Thank you, Adriana. She like put a thing on the GoFundMe thing, which I'm not putting the link here. Do not put the link here. Like I only needed to keep the website up for while it was being attacked, and we ended up, and I ran out of money doing it myself, and I lost my job. So I was like, anyway, I only put a thing of $500, and they like put it up right away, and I was like, okay, no more. So we're good. However, there's a lady who just put an email and a comment on it, saying such the nicest thing, and she's in the comments, Adriana, if you're here, thank you, you're so sweet. But yeah, it's just anybody that has a platform that's talking about this, that has 1 million followers or more, or even 100,000 followers or more, why aren't you using your platform to build a community? Why are you trying to tear down one that's trying to be built? Like, if that's what you should be worried about when you make a criticism video. Why is that what you're worried about? Why are you trying to tear down and be a community, just be a bully? You know, you could use if you were actually a truly good person that people needed to follow, you would have organized them and showed them how to, what you do with the platform when you're trying to be followed. You don't deserve to be followed if you're not going to be a leader. But, it's very dystopian on TikTok. And so that's why they think this is some type of trend. So they're like clipping and taking videos and talking about it and be like, oh my God, the website, da 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 da. He needs help with this website. I'm trying to help him, da da da. No. I fought off thousands of attacks lonesome by myself with the help of my community telling me what they were experiencing in real time. And I just went live on TikTok. And so now people are just like, oh, let me help him. Tell me he needs to do this. Tell me he needs to do that. No, you obviously didn't listen to Joe Felz or his mission, because his mission was to release a library of books that you all can have access to. Well, guess what? We got those books, and not only those books, we got you more. We got you everything. We got you 400,000 books, and they tried to freaking crash the site. I made 9 migrations, 9 websites, 3 different domains. That's why you're just like, which site is it? Is it Free Bible Access? Is it holyword.net? Is it joefelzcommunity.com? It's because I had to make 3 different domains and keep building different projects and restructuring them to where I learned the attacks and I knew what tools they had against me, and I just had to put all the blockers against their attacks. So that's how you now have the holy word. And now, if you want all that information, you already have the best of information right now available on there. I mean, there's so much more secrets and everything else. And I might actually just, for a little bit later, republish one of the projects that got infiltrated that has the 400,000 files on it, just so people have access to it. And I will do that. But only my community will have access to it first, because they're the ones that watch. So when I go live, I will just explain, hey, I'm making this project live. Go download it, do your thing, hold your files, and do whatever you want with them. But just please don't try to, destroy the community with it. Like the one way they can destroy the community, what they'll do is take all the files and they'll restructure it, pretend to be me, and and they'll just mass market it to where they all think this is it. And then you'll never know where to organize. And then the real community will actually be outnumbered by a false community and being falsely led by somebody else. I had 9 of them. I made so many of them. I was just rebuilding. Multiple, just constantly. But to be fair, a month and a half ago, I did finish building one of the best computers in the world. That's also what I've also not really explained too much in this process is like, yeah, Brendan, are you still here? Go in the chat. Verify in the chat. Me and Brendan watched me build this bitch. We both paid for we both paid for like the parts like together, but I was the one that built it because he didn't know what to do, and he just like was like, wow. He just like watched me like the entire time. Like his face was like glued to a TV screen. Absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. And like I feel like for like really Joe to really fully be satisfied, he needs to just have the truth about his death to be known, so they can mourn his loss. That's part of the process of that, like that whole thing. It's like just part of the code, and the code response is to the system. It's it's why like when there's still information that's not put out, it's like why there's so much cached information of why I could see when they talk about if a soul couldn't move on, I could that it would make sense why, because of that right there. It's because of how much information and just cached information around the what's not known to the system, and the system isn't able to actually update the actual truth to just send it out to the system, so the system knows the identity of the reality of its situation, if that makes even any sort of sense. Sorry. I try, and I just want to. It's good, honey. Good. I just want people to be led by like the right light, and I always was just like, if I had to be used in some sort of way, I always wanted to be like, used for whatever purpose God needed, even if it was like for one of the worst positions ever. I always said, even if I had to scrub the toilets in heaven, I'll do it. Like, if I got to scrub the toilets, I'll do it. Whatever needs to be done, just don't put me down there. Don't just send me to a place where my system just crashes and I'm just a whole bunch of error codes, and it's the worst experience you just can't even fathom. No, please, just anything. I'll go to the trash folder, purgatory, just put me there. Anything, but I'll gladly scrub the toilets too. Like, you just have to have that type of gratitude. Gratitude is another thing. Being grateful for this experience. It's another thing, is like how you, in a way of how, like, in a language you'll understand, how you align your chakras. It's like how you like get a foundation of sense of everything, and to like for everything to be aligned is to be, know your position, your solar conscious position from like your root chakra, and then you have to just know the truth of your existence for your throat chakra to be open, and and you have to stop loving and stop being attached to everything around us to accept anything, for your body to accept any outside like information like this way. And so like what I mean by like your physical attachments that bind you here, like you have love and you care, but you have to also understand that you have to be ready to leave it all behind for something greater. Like even this mission and whatever, if God were to tell me, come with me, Dylan, this is too much for you, I would leave. I have to follow God. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just that's what you have to do. That's how you align yourself. You have to let go of all these attachments. Stop thinking you love your kids more than anything. Stop thinking you love your husband or your wife or this or that. No, you love God more than anything. That's why he says you put God first, your wife second, your kids third. FelzLegacy.com is a fake site. that was made by that creator that's trying that he has 120 some thousand or 160,000 followers. Lindo, he has. So yeah, that girl Maria, yeah, that's a fake website. He actually crashed out on me, said, I'm not letting you destroy Joe's mission. I'm making a website. And then make the website, got 300 views on there and like blocked me. And so I saw the message later and I looked at it and I saw I was blocked and I'm like, who the fuck is this? I couldn't see anything. It said 00 nothing. So I went on another account and I'm like, this person has 160,000 followers and they never built a community before. They never thought, oh, I have all these people follow me. Let me like lead them into something good. Let me help organize charity or just do something good. They never thought that. The first thought they said was they're going to attack a group that's actually doing that. No, fuck that. FelzLegacy.com is a scam site and you guys need to post about it and say Felz Legacy is fake. The real one is holyword.net. For right now, but yeah, that shit is crazy. That's what I'm saying. We're being like faked. People are like trying to copy what we did because they didn't do it themselves originally. It went viral and now it's trending to try and make little other much smaller versions of what we've done. They're not going to have what we have except that they just copied it from our work that we pioneered, which is kind of just so dystopian TikToker-ish behavior, but I expected such. What the fuck, people? Yeah, so you people are so for just a moment, we're going to boom, you guys don't get to go in here and yeah, JoeFelzLegacy.com, that is a fake spam site. Go post about it. Go on, type it in. Type it in the TikTok search bar. Any post you find about it, say that's fake. Here's the real site. Tag me in it. And yeah. And I bet you probably can't because they've blocked me. So yeah, all right, I'll put the comments back. But yeah. It's just crazy. You make it joespelllegacy.com. You just make a file archive when we actually use Joe Felz's real legacy and mission to build a community. You're just trying to do it all without letting people build community. That's what you did with your original platform. And again, another failed project. So good luck. Good luck, Lindo, or whatever the fuck your name is. I didn't get his books to publish. I got everything that he didn't have as well. I saw his mission. I saw it was taken, and I just said, you know what? I can do this myself. I'm not swallowing this ultimatum. No. I say otherwise. And so I made sure that I made a public access site where everybody could upload all the secrets of the world to. We got the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Ruby Tablet, the Emerald Tablet. Yeah, you wanted that L.H. Anderson book, that $9,000 book he was showing you about ancient magic, magnetism and psychic power? Yeah, we got you that. But we also got you books worth $75,000 on there. We got you the world's rarest public library in the world in my link. And everybody who wants to just trend on TikTok, these TikTokers that are mad that I won't just like let them be the admins to this, are trying to just take it away. And it just doesn't work because the community chooses itself. They just don't get that. You're very welcome. Anybody that agrees with me, just say thank you or yeah, or I don't know, just say something. Just say thank you. Everybody spam thank you in the comments because there's always going to be people that are like, that's like how you help heal me and save me like on the correct mission, because like a lot of people will like say some off the wall shit that just don't understand, or they're just like jealous or whatever the hell they are because you don't do shit with your platform or you didn't even try to help Joe or do anything and you're mad at someone who did. Worry about that. What's wrong with you? Thank you. Let them know that you're here, community, and that they're... Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. You're welcome. Gracias. De nada. We're working on that. The girl on his page, so we don't know what happened. She's trying to like fool the public into like making like to disassociate that she had anything to do with it. That she's just like that she was his star-crossed lover, and that look how cute she was. Like if you look at her last Facebook and Instagram post on Joe Felz's page on Instagram and Facebook, she's like, I would like address all the false allegations, but instead input false allegation here, long ass paragraph, whole bunch of pictures and videos about when they first met, and said this is how we met, look how cute we are, and all this stuff. Why would you? People are asking you questions, and then you're telling them you can't answer questions because there's an investigation, and then we prove you in real time that there's not an investigation, that it's closed, and that you can answer questions, but you're not answering questions. You just don't want to answer questions, and so you just said I would address the false allegations, but I won't. It's because you don't have like the brain power to talk to me, so we can have a conversation, and I can just see what happens. You're not going to contact me. Nobody. You've seen all this shit, but you haven't sent me one message to stop me. No, I didn't know Joe personally. I was the only one that just fucking did what I did. And then TikTok thought it was a trend to follow suit. And so now everybody's like making fake sites pretending to be me. It's so stupid. I had 900 followers. This is so like, it's not about me. It's about building a community. If you're going to have a platform, you should use it to bring people together. So why are these people with big platforms talking about us and being so criticized and worried about drama and gossip and all that stuff about us instead of actually trying to join a community and help people? Why would you bully and break down a community that's already building itself when you yourself have a platform and you have the opportunity to build your own? And you just didn't. So you just don't want nobody else to? You're so worried about other people that's why it said, stop worrying about other people. Worry about the log in your eye instead of the speck in your neighbor's eye. That's the problem. Jesus told you, stop worrying about the log or the speck in your neighbor's eye when you have a log in your eye. Stop worrying about what we're doing. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. But since TikTok's algorithm doesn't work that way, that you actually... It's just the algorithm. That's what trends. So it's just, it's just going to happen. So I don't know Joe, but I'm fighting for his mission. And there's just a lot of people who just don't want me to. But there's also even more people who want me to. So I'm going to. Even if the people closest to me tell me stop. Yeah, it's not the government. Like, I don't know why people think like, oh, he knew too much. The government took him out. No, his girlfriend saw that he was like, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to. So if I will say that. But his girlfriend, saw like, hey, he has talent. People like him. He's a likable guy. So they had like this shared account. It was originally her account, to my knowledge. This is what like we found through so far of our investigation. It was her account. Shared the account. She removes him from the account, says he's gone, I'll be here, you only get me now. And nobody accepted that. That was the last post on that page that's showing. But she also said, in another post, I don't fit Joe's mission. I'm a whore that's sweating in church. So she obviously cannot lead his mission at the same time. Because she doesn't even align with it. She said, I have my own values. Goddamn. Challenged the divine in her last video multiple times and said, I can do what I want. Don't you know what? You can't hell, whatever. You know what? Goddamn. Challenged the divine and said, God, he's just not going to be here. He's going to figure his shit out. Goddamn. And hit the end recording. Like, what the fuck is that? And then she starts deleting all the the videos of him on there. We have people that knew Julian Brown that were up here that Joe Felz. He had messages with Joe Felz, and like, yeah, no, they're deleted. She's deleting the messages after he's posthumously gone. He's just gone. And she's deleting the video. That's why you don't give the partner, you don't when someone dies like that way, you don't ever let the partner have access to their cell phone. Why did she have access to their cell phone? Because there wasn't actually a federal investigation. It wasn't a homicide, not ruled a homicide. So if you can drive someone into psychosis, they kill themselves and you have their phone and all this stuff, you could just control everything. Not saying that's what happened, but you can, and that's what she's doing. She is deleting things, and that's what was done to the Bible as well. What the people didn't agree with, they deleted. She already said she didn't agree with his mission. She's deleting. Why does she take it upon herself to decide what of his mission gets to say and what she deletes? No, they didn't. No, I'm telling you, you're picking at that's the wrong enemy here. Listen, even if it is, she's complicit in it. There's no investigation. She's lying. This is our lead. We can't just speculate and say Deep State did it. You don't know that. What we do know is she lied. You don't know anything else beyond that. So if you're speculating, to be honest with you, you don't know anything of what you're talking about. You're jumping the gun, and you're the problem of why there's so much misinformation and why it's so hard to find the truth. If you start asking questions instead of making assumptions, we'll get somewhere. Pray for her. She's the one who put him in the hospital. It's part of her. It's her fault why he's not here. She's part of the reason he's not here. She knows that. It's part of her decision of why he's not here. You don't just get to take it upon yourself and take away someone's God-given free will because you don't like it. He was already deemed to be okay by a doctor. She did it once. He was allowed to come out by the doctor's orders, and then she did it to him again, said, nope, the doctor's wrong, something's wrong. She felt she knew more than a doctor, and she felt she knew more than what she needed to spread about Joe's mission with the page that he was showing. Okay. If you think that we need to give her grace and feel bad for her, everybody tell that lady, this lady in the comments, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Like, don't be mean to her, but just be like, no, lady, you got it wrong. What is it, under lock and key, this one? Like, tell her, like, no, like, girl, you got it wrong. Like, don't, it's not... No, I never said I was a Christian. I don't follow a cult. I follow Christ, not the cult. Christ never said Christian. Christian didn't exist when Christ was here. Humans made that, not a God. So I don't know, are you a Christian? No, sweetheart, you got this all wrong. No, we're not going to sit here and pray for her. Do you know what Jesus told you to do when he told you to connect to his Father? He said the temple is within you. He said when you connect to his Father, you go to your room, you shut the door, and you get on your knees in private. You don't go to a church and a synagogue and you talk to the masses and let people pray over you. And you pray, you give Joe fucking Joel Osteen $5,000 for him to perform a miracle. He charges you $5,000 for a miracle. You really believe that shit? But okay, yeah, Christian. Oh yeah, cult. No, I don't do that. No, I don't listen to other people to tell me how I need to connect to God. I already know how. I have the code. And what you do, if you really want to do it, what you do is you go into your room, you go on your knees without anybody there, and you say one thing, and it's Our Father who art in heaven, and it's that prayer. Because God already knows what you need before you ask. You don't need to babble on like the Gentiles do. That's what Jesus said. Not when you're talking to God. God already knows. He has like all these hierarchies as angels. You think he just wants to sit here and talk to you about gossip? Gossip is murder. You're not going to sit there and he already knows. He already knows what you need before you ask. There's one thing he said, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That's what Jesus said. You guys don't do that. Oh, but we need to pray for her this way because my church told me how to pray this way. Okay, girl. Go on. Since you're so under lock and key, since you know everything about God and religion, since you're a Christian and you know everything. Yeah, we follow Christ, but we're not like you don't have to follow a cult. You don't have to just say I'm a Christian and just apply Christ's name to like your title. You are a follower of Christ. The applying Christ's title to your name is to get, that's part of the cult's mechanism of getting you to follow it. The only reason a cult survives is because you don't know you're a part of one. Jesus told you, come out of there, for they've turned my Father's house into a market. But you don't listen. I'm going to go to church and I'm going to do what my pastor says, and they're going to tithe me and not give to the poor. Okay. Don't listen to Jesus. Don't listen to no one talking about it. You know what? And that's why you've got the mark of the beast. You don't have the will to actually change any of these things until you remove the mark of the beast from yourself. That's why it says those left with the mark of the beast, those are the ones that they're going to they're going to be left here after the rapture. You're going to be here. The ones with the mark of the beast, the ones who didn't correct themselves, the ones who did fix their divine codes. When it happens. But you're not going to do that by going to church, sweetheart. And so when you try to use the book to attack people in that way, it just doesn't work. You can't sit there and be like, oh, no, don't listen to him because you can't you're a Christian. You can't call yourself a Christian and say that you can't. What do you mean? If you're a Christian, didn't God give you the power of discernment? You know you can, when the devil's lying to you, you can sit there and say, no, devil, you're lying. That's not judgment. Judgment is when you see somebody that has a hole in their shirt and you're like, dude, ew, that's a hole in your shirt. Change that shit. When you don't have a haircut, or you have a fucking shitty asshole and your ass isn't wiped all the way, or like whatever, there's still something wrong with you while you're worrying about someone else. That's why he says, worry about the speck in your eye, don't worry about the speck in your neighbor's eye, worry about the log in your eye. But that's different from discernment. When you're being lied to, you have the right to call that out. That's not judgment, that's discernment. There's a difference. You're not judging, you're just not accepting the lie that's being forced down your throat. Yes, Christ, it's not that. It's not Christ is in you. The temple is within you, not Christ. Christ said the temple is within you. He didn't die, come back and said, I'm within you. He didn't say that. He said the temple is within you, and then died. Then came back, did his thing, went to heaven. He was here for a little while, but he wasn't like that. The kingdom is within you. You're able to access the kingdom through within you. It's within and you and all around you. It's not that Christ is within you. That's where Christians got you fucked up. Christ was trying to tell you have the kingdom within you. That's why if something happens to me, please don't make some fucking religion be like, Dylan, he's going to save us. No, bitch, I was trying to tell you. The fuck, if you didn't get it, I'm not going to sit there and don't let someone fucking sit there and tell you, oh, yep, pray to Dylan, he's going to fucking save you now because he knew this and that and da-da-da. No, bitch. We were giving you instruction for a reason. We weren't wasting our breath. Okay. I said what I need to say. Again. Who wants to come up here and introduce themselves? And whoever agrees, if you're passionate, not passionate, just want to chill and be like, yeah, I hear your message, wow, or chill, or you're just like, hey, yeah, man, this is what's going on. I found this shit fucked up. Like, I don't give a damn. Come up here. And if someone has, so, Nature Bound, if you want to, Nature Bound, if you want to, try using a different browser sometimes, or here, if someone will put the link in there, it's, theholyword.net. I think the link should be just fine. Is the link good, you guys? Is it good? Works for me. Works for me too. Cool. All right, so it's funny. People are going on our site trying to use like the membership that I use and trying to like say Joe Felz list of all his books over here on Reddit. Like it's like, okay, cool. All the books are also here. Every single one is on holyword.net. Every single one. Why are you doing that? What is wrong with people? Who cares? You want traction to yourself so bad. Go build a site. Go do it. Fucking be that badass and be cool so people want to follow you, but you're boring as fuck. And it's just really fascinating. Like the desperation of why people want to just be seen. That's what God was talking about. You want like, that's why they're like wolf in sheep's clothing. You have to be careful about who the hell you listen to. Like, it's just like these desperate attempts are ridiculous. It's funny. But at the same time, it's funny and annoying, to be honest. And block that IP address. Oh, no. So I'm going to republish it back. I know there's a lot of people watching trying to recopy everything and restructure and try to not allow Joe Felz community to find itself. And so it's just crazy. We have his community and library page is like all on the same page, but like people just, I'm probably going to have to keep approve. I don't want to make it to have to admin approve every single feed post. Like that's annoying, but people like, I need to make other admins who need to like monitor the sites and like take down people that are just trying to like market themselves through the site because it's getting traffic. Like that's annoying. Nope, never said to. Never said I did. You don't need to know Joe personally. You can do these things, people. Like, we created the world's rarest public library in 4 days with 400,000 rare ancient texts, and it took just a couple thousand of us to find each other and just the first day, and we did, and then it just took off from there, and we had people traveling all over the world to find books, find hidden texts, and they just got them to us right away and uploaded it. You can't do what we did. You don't have the same energy driving you the same way when you're trying to infiltrate the community. You're being driven by evil, so you're just gonna fail every time. This wasn't, we needed the stars to align. Do you understand? So many planets, the eclipse, everything so much aligned yesterday. You're not going to get what we got. We tapped into something and we used the right day to do it. And so yesterday, everything was good. I figured out what to do, how to structure it, locked it all down, and to protect the community. And that's what I vowed to do. And that's what they've asked me to do. And want me to continue to do. There's a Discord in my thing. We're all go talk about it. So anybody that has like 1 million followers, 100,000 followers that has just like been trying to talk about us and critique us and da 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 da. Why haven't you tried to build a freaking like a community? Go do that. Just go do that. Stop worrying about destroying a community and being a bully like Perez Hilton. You saw him. You saw what Karma did to him. Fucking carried himself up on live. You don't want to have that done to you. So stop bullying people. Stop bullying people. Go build your community. Yep, you don't want to get carried, so you better stop bullying people. You know what? When someone is actually doing something good for people, you leave them alone. Let them do their thing. Why does it bother you? Why are you bothered? Why would it bother you? Why are you here? You know, if you don't like something, why do you do things that hurt your brain? If you don't like something, do something else. For me, if you're wondering why I'm doing it, it's because I've replaced my free will with God's will, not Satan's. Yep. Can we spam thank you in the chat again or something? We could change it up, or like we could say yes, bitch, or something like that. I don't know. Yes, bitch, or something, or clock it or something. Yes, bitch. I think that's better than telling me thank you every time because I don't need to be thanked. I just tell me yes, bitch, or something. There we go. Or yes. Yay! There we go. Okay. Hola, mi amor. You cook? Yeah, that person who made an account that made that post, no uploads, no comments, messages, or any other content, just one post, just trying to make that Reddit post, trying to market themselves. That's, I mean, it is still, like, it's flattering that probably, like, you know, society's like, damn, bitch, how can we figure out how to market like this? Well, bitch, it's because you're fucking trying to deceive people and make them buy something, and fucking that's why marketing is trying to lie to people to get them to buy your product that they don't fucking even need. So that's probably why, honey. Mm-hmm. Damn, I feel like I've been live like all fucking day, y'all. It's like, and it's 3:00. Give me like 1 second. It is about to thunderstorm again. Books. Yep. How y'all liking the books? Has anybody read anything? Has anybody read anything interesting? We're gonna get into the book club soon and start organizing a book club to where we can all talk about it. And it's also gonna make I'm gonna put it in the Discord, the book club. Joe Felz, like there's the books where you can like, you know, just put in information where you can find other books and put them on the library so they're accessible to other people. But other people are just dumb because Joe Felz community already knows where to look for the books. If you truly wanted to upload Joe Felz books to where they should, like any books to anything else, you would put them where everybody's looking, not try to just pull them away from your own thing. You could be a part of the community, but if you divert from it, that's how you should know that's somebody that's just divisive. That's somebody that doesn't want to be a part. They just can't get along with everybody. That's somebody that's going to have probably not make it to the next place until they fix something like that. There you go. Go read one. Go read one. I'm on chapter 8 of Ancient Magic. Oh, good for you. Have you read anything good, Davy Jones? Do live readings like of the books?
That's what I wanted to do on the videos. I wanted to read that one. Yeah, I should do it. I'll find something in there.
Okay.
But I want to print them out if I do it.
Yeah, we can do that. So if y'all want to do a live reading, I'll open up a book tonight if you want one, and we can all have a panel where everyone can go read a chapter of a book, and we'll just put in the comments what books you want to start with. I think that's a really cool way to help the community to like organize and decompress, and like it'll be like an outlet from like an entertainment outlet away from everything. I'll give you one. Perfect. So I guess like an hour and a half we'll do that. What books do you want to start with? Magnetism is more powerful than people know. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Magnetism, it's like yeah, we'll get into it. We'll read about it. We'll read about it. Y'all want to just work on that book first, the Joe Felz most like sought after book, and we'll just start and we'll go through chapter 1, and we'll do that. Cool. And now since we all have the book, we can do it. This is so cool. This wouldn't have happened like normally. Yes. Okay. Hello, Sheldon. Hello. You like to come out? You like to come out, little? See the people? Say hi, Sheldon. Do. Did you shit on me? Oh no. That's your. Hi, Sheldon. Don't jump off. Go inside. There you go. It's Sheldon. He just likes to stay in his sun. By the way, my account got banned at Sawyer. I just removed the bot account. Was it yours? Oh, you mean like, your TikTok account? Oh, TikTok account got banned? Yeah, he's so freaking cool. And like he's just so freaking cool. He's like, bugs? So yeah, we're gonna do the book club, I guess. So actually, you know what? We can start in a moment. Give me 10 minutes. Let me take a shower. Let me freshen. Well, give me 20 minutes. Let me freshen up, and I'll come back live, and we'll start the book thing. We'll do a little reading, and we'll start with magnetism. All right, I will see you guys shortly. And I can charge the phone, and I can pee and do all that stuff. Okay, love you guys. Put that notification bell. Wherever that, I think you hit this profile notification so you can see when I go live again. Heck yes, we're gonna share some really good information. $9,000 information. All right, bye, you guys.